Okay, I'm like the biggest Zyn virgin there is. I've never even held one of these before. It's my first time having this in my hands, so I'm curious. 15 nicotine pouches in this bad boy. Warning, it contains nicotine. It's an addictive chemical, aka don't do it. And I'm just gonna tell you right now, it's probably better never to start. Nicotine contains nicotine salt? I didn't even know it was a salt. And other food grade ingredients. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna drive home with this and then we'll pop one in and do some first impressions of my first time zinning. If you're wondering why I'm doing this, well, it's because you guys asked me to. So I made this video of me overcoming my vaping addiction, and that video has done absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support. I mean, I've been blown away by it all. And then I had a few of you message me telling me that you were addicted to Zyns instead. So you wanted to see me kind of recreate the getting addicted and quitting process of Zyns. So that was the whole intention behind this video. Anyway, let's get to it. I don't even know how to unbox this thing, so let's figure that out. Oh, Feta, you want to say hi to everybody? Yeah, Dad's about to make some bad decisions. All right, here we go. Is there like no easy way of doing this? Break the seal along the side? How do you break the seal? I don't even know how to use this thing. I mean, I see like a little crease in here. Do I just like, I'm just digging my nail into it? Hopefully that does the trick. I see a couple of arrows. Okay, I think I just need to like break it up. Okay, it's just spinning. Spinning is not the answer. Okay, what does these instructions say? Twist lid, align arrows and lift. Align them to what? Do I take this wrapper off? I don't think I was supposed to do that. Oh my god, okay, I got it open, but everything flew out. Hold on. I spilled everything. The Zyns went flying. I don't want my dogs to pick any of them up, so hold on. Okay, that's 15. If I'm gonna do this, I want to make sure I do it right, not just look like an idiot while I'm doing it. You know what one of the worst parts about addiction is having a friend that also does that thing, because they're usually the ones that get you into doing bad decisions. Yeah, so this is my friend Andrew, and he knows, he's the Zyn god. He knows all about it. He's about to get a grill from zinning.
Should I show him the stack?
Yeah, show him the stack. Oh, yep, that's a big stack, dude. That is crazy. Okay, I can upper or lower decky.
And then you push up. It should be like right in here.
Okay.
That's it, man. Congrats, you're zinning.
Oh. Why is it spicy?
Yeah, that's the nicotine.
What?
You'll grow to love that.
What do you mean I'm gonna go? That is crazy. It feels like hot sauce.
Brother, you got the citrus flavor. It's supposed to be like fruity.
That's weird. Is it supposed to be burning on that side?
Yeah, that's your gums getting used to it.
Am I supposed to be sweating or am I just nervous?
No, I think you're just nervous.
Okay. Okay, sounds good.
It's a normal thing.
Okay. I feel it in the back of my throat. Is that normal?
Sure, man. Sure.
Are you zinning?
Yeah.
We are zinning.
I don't know. I think I'm starting to feel lightheaded. It feels weird.
Okay, you gotta push past that feeling. Like, I don't get that feeling anymore.
So do you just need it to operate normally in life?
Yeah, 100%, dude.
Okay.
I run marathons with these in.
I feel right now, I feel like I'm definitely feeling the lightheadedness starting to kick in. Has a funny feeling in the back of my throat. I don't like that feeling. It feels spicy. I will say though, the flavor is kind of good. It tastes like Fruit Loops. So I think the Fruit Loop flavor, I'm a fan of it. And I think that's how they get people hooked. They make the flavors too good. Okay, I'm gonna leave this in for a few minutes and I'm gonna tell you how I'm feeling in a few minutes. I'm not gonna lie, I just set the camera down and this feels like, it It might be too much. Andrew told me to go for the 6 milligrams because that's what real men do. No, I don't think this is great right now. He told me I might get the hiccups and I might throw up at some point. I don't know how I'm feeling right now. I told you I was going to wait a few minutes, but I really didn't need to wait a few minutes because this thing, Andrew was not kidding. It is hitting instantly. Yeah, I'm definitely lightheaded. Oh my gosh. I definitely see why people send this thing. Are you kidding me? For the people that like the feelings of nicotine, this is crazy. When I told you I was like vaping for the flavor, I meant it because right now, there's very little flavor. I love Fruit Loops, by the way, so the flavor is good. But oh my gosh, am I feeling something right now? This is crazy. This is insane. I can't believe that like just a little chemical can make you feel so many things, but now I feel kind of light. I feel like I could run a marathon right now. He said it lasts like 20 to 30 minutes. I should have probably educated myself more before I just hopped in, because right now I'm just feeling something. Wow. This is crazy. Let's show me your dance moves. Look. Are you mad that I'm doing this?
No. Well,
Oh, nice.
I don't want you to Zyn all the time. I don't want you to Zyn.
No.
Are you gonna do it a lot until the pack's gone?
Mm-hmm.
No. You don't need to do that.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna leave this spicy bad boy in for a while and let you guys know how I feel, because now the initial effects are calming down. I'm gonna FaceTime my other friend that Zyns. I did something, man.
No, stop. Stop.
Yeah. What? You're sitting right now? Brother, what?
They're a little intense. You gotta start with the 3s and I'll tell you what, the 6s are sometimes too much for me.
Andrew said that real men do 6s, so I had to buy that one.
See, I've been hearing that. I've been called a bitch multiple times now, but it's like, I just need a little boost. You know what I mean? I don't need too much.
You know what that conversation is making me realize? That with Zyns, it's kind of like frat boy culture, and it's like, yo, step up and fuck yourself up as much as possible. No, this is my first one. That's why I said I almost passed out. I've never tried it.
Oh, isn't it intense?
Swaz has offered me Zyns before in life, and I always told him no. Yeah, so many times. And I always told him no because I didn't want to, but here I am. I just put it in 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so like that's why I was sweating at first. I'm not already like I'm feeling kind of like fidgety, kind of like when I did when I've had too much vape. Yeah.
It's intense.
Yeah, I got the nicotine shakes right now.
Yeah, that's why I like the 3s, because the 3s are like perfect. It's like a little like it curbs the cravings without like being too much. Because 6s sometimes get to be too much for me.
Okay, so maybe we'll go ahead and buy a pack of 3s just to get the full experience. Okay, so I just asked Swaz why he wants to quit. He just told me he wants to quit. First thing he said was his sleep schedule.
Yeah. Sleep schedule has been absolutely nuked.
Yeah.
I quit for like a week and my sleep schedule was like 1,000 times better.
Yeah.
I would say number 2 is there's not research on Zyns, at least according to what I've seen on the internet. So it's like I don't know about like long-term potential health risks.
Yeah.
3, I'm curious if women just look at it as kind of like a nasty habit. It's also like, having to like take it in and take it out. You know,
for sure.
It's one of those where I'm like, I feel like it's kind of a turnoff to some women, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of expensive. I mean, it starts to add up. Like, especially if like you start going through them, like I have recently. Like, you start to look at the bill, and you're like, damn. Like, I mean, it starts to be $50 a month, and you start to think about like that's a subscription.
Yeah.
That's an expensive subscription, and then you start adding that up over a year. I mean, I probably go through a can every couple of days or so now.
Yeah.
Not every like 3-4 days, but you start to add it up and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. Let me switch out this battery real quick. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those habits that it's like, it's not really doing anything positive for me. It's more of just, the fact that it's just habitual at this point.
For sure. No, especially now I'm like, probably like 15 minutes into this one, and I'm starting to feel like that peak go down already, which is interesting. Yeah.
Sometimes I have them so much that I almost start to get tired throughout the day.
Yeah. Okay, so it's been about a half hour since I've had this thing in. I'm ready to take it out. I'm feeling fidgety and crazy. I definitely think there's lots of dopamine going on in my brain because let me tell you, I feel like I drank like 12 cups of coffee because I'm going. Take this thing out. Incredible Fruit Loop flavor. I love it. Okay, so we're gonna go get sushi right now. I want to give you a little Zyn update of the first thing that I'm realizing about Zyns versus vapes. Vape for me, I always did it because of the flavor, and I thought the flavor was just good. And then it had like the lightheadedness or whatever, and it wouldn't really affect my mood or anything, but I could feel like, you know, like additional dopamine going on in my brain, but it wasn't like dramatic. At least with these Zyns so far, I took it out, and I can think back, and probably you'll see it really close up in the video. Before I picked it up, I was just more in like a serious mood. I was like, do I want to do this? Do I not? And then I took it, and I just feel like so happy right now. I feel so good. But like, that's the problem with it. The problem with it, I can just tell you already off the rip, is that it makes you feel so good, so you don't need to like confront the problems with your daily life almost. Straight up, it's got to be such a good band-aid for it, because like, let's say you're having a bad time, something doesn't really feel good, you know, you can resort to the substance that's going to change your brain chemistry to force you to feel good pretty much. I had no choice in how good I feel right now, and I feel incredible. And like, but I want to feel happy like normally without taking a substance, you know, but like this one, I'm just like, hell yeah, life's good. Let's go get some sushi. Sushi could be $1 billion in there. I'm going to say, throw it on the card, you know? Little sushi spot. Doesn't look like anything. You walk in, boom, you're in Japan. This is crazy. Okay. Oh, yep, it's going. Good morning. So it's 4:20 in the morning. That was not on purpose. It just happened. Looking back on this moment in the editing process, I definitely know that I woke up earlier because I had leftover like nicotine in my system before I went to bed, and so then I just didn't get as restful of sleep. And I think that's important to state because I forgot to mention that here. Like, I don't know why I woke up earlier. Like, we did go to sleep early, but not that early. I was like rolling around at 4:30 in the morning, so I texted my friend. I said, "What time do you normally pop one of these bad boys in?" And he said, "If I'm hitting a morning workout, or if not, I wait until after I brush my teeth." My guy's hitting one like 15 minutes after he's awake. I gotta tell you something. I thought about putting one in that early. A part of me really didn't want to, but I have to. So right now it's a bright and early 7 a.m. and I'm gonna have to dive in. God, I know it's gonna feel really good, but I just know this is not good for me. So anyway, whatever. Let's go ahead and pop one of these bad boys in. I'm curious to see if this is gonna wake me up, like more. Like when I would vape in the mornings, like I would need it to wake up. I'm curious because I only had one of these yesterday, and then we just went to dinner. If this is gonna be any different, so I'm gonna keep you guys updated on how that goes. But let's go ahead and put this thing up there. Oh, I guess Andrew said to use your tongue, but I don't know. I'm a beginner at this. I don't know what I'm doing. So, I don't know. Just pat it down. Weird. I think I did it wrong, but it's in there. Oh, you know how I feel in a couple minutes. I just can't believe it has such a burning sensation to it. I don't like that. I think it's kind of like when you take a rip of the vape and it burns. But like, you don't want it to burn. It doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel good right now. The stinging that comes along with it. Especially if you use your tongue to put it on there. My tongue is also stinging. And it feels like my lip is burning. Oh, at first. I don't know. I'll tell you what. Yesterday it made me feel really good, but like the first part of it, having it in, is just not my favorite. At least not right now. The one thing it does have going for it, this flavor tastes so good. And it's morning time, and it tastes, because it tastes like Fruit Loops, I'm digging the more. It feels like I'm having my morning cereal right now. Except it's nicotine. That is weird. I had to learn how to put these in properly or something. I don't know. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes now, and I gotta tell you that yesterday, because it was like my first time and I was like nervous, I think I was sweating. And right now I don't feel that like nervousness anymore, so I'm not sweating. But I can tell that this acts like really, really fast. I mean, I'm now starting to feel like a little bit of the lightheadedness that comes in. Andrew said he doesn't get a buzz at all anymore, so, and he does it all day, every day. So I'm sure like he's way more desensitized to it. I'm getting there. I feel it, but not as intensely right now. And right now is actually kind of just like smooth. And you know what it does to my brain? I don't know about you guys, but if any of you do this, it makes me feel lightheaded at first. I don't know if that's normal or not. I think that's just how nicotine makes me feel, but it is interesting. You know what I also noticed? Yesterday, after I had it in for a little bit, there was probably like a period of like an hour or two where I felt like I couldn't fully like concentrate on things, and I think that's just because I hadn't had nicotine in my system for a while. So it was just like, especially the 6 milligrams, they were just like a lot. So I'm curious also to try what Swat said, which was doing the 3s. So maybe we'll go pick some up today so I can kind of see the difference between the two. Because I think if I'm going to do this for a whole week, I got to see what I like doing. Again, I'm going to state right now, don't do this. I'm doing this for the video, but the video is to like see what the differences are and to see if it's harder to quit these or harder to quit the vape. Okay, it's been another minute and it's really hitting right now. I had to sit down because I am getting like way lightheaded. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. What's also really weird about this right now is that I'm feeling, today it actually feels good. It is like the second day that I was vaping, and it felt good the second day. Like, it didn't just feel shocking. So right now I'm just starting to feel like all the positive emotions and feelings and physical feelings that come with it. So that is interesting to know. It's crazy how nicotine can just put you in a good mood, and that's the band-aid. That just, I feel like it's so easy to put a band-aid on your problems with nicotine. That's the problem. To be honest here, dealing with problems does not feel good, but when you're feeling this good, I do understand how dealing with a problem that makes you feel bad and putting this in, it makes you feel better as you're dealing with that problem. So that's kind of interesting to note as well. That was a weird, interesting experiment. Oh, I think I'm supposed to spit out so my stomach doesn't hurt, but yeah. I did notice yesterday, before I had sushi, because I hadn't eaten in a while, my stomach was feeling like a little bit, there was like, I don't know, it was like tensed up. It felt kind of like a weird pit in my stomach, so I think I was probably swallowing and I didn't mean to. Okay, I am starting to feel a little bit clammy, so I do think I have to, I do think it gives me like a little bit of the sweats, but it's not overwhelming like it was yesterday. Also, I'm starting to feel good. I think a lot of people do this because it's calming to them, but at least for me, man, I'm starting to feel like energized. I'm starting to feel like I need to get up and like do a little run or something. You know what I'm noticing as well right now? When I feel lightheaded like this, because the nicotine's starting to kick in, I feel like I don't have as much control over my body. Because it feels like my movements are all just wacky and weird. Okay, so I just cleaned the room and stuff, and I think I'm developing like some small amount of like anxiousness. Because there's no reason to feel anxious while I'm cleaning a room, but it's just, I definitely, when I was vaping, I would feel anxious randomly throughout the day, and right now I think this is just like, it just hits me so strong that I have some anxiousness right now. My stomach already feels a little something, so I've made sure to like spit out a few times. And I'll keep you updated on how it goes as I lock in for this work day. Time to put this thing out. I don't know if it's been in there for like 45-ish minutes. I feel shaky right now. Like, I try to be, yeah, it's just, I feel weird. Oh, what's that? You're asking me a question? You're asking what's in my pocket? Yeah. It's my Zyns. because I'm a zinner. Something else that I remembered I want to tell you is how I've been feeling after I took that first Zyn this morning. It took me like 3 or 4 or 5 hours of feeling the effects of the Zyn before I would felt like normal the rest of the day. You know how I told you a bit earlier that I was like a bit like, I mean, not only did I feel really happy for a while, but then I felt like also a bit like shaky and just like not good. It probably took like, yeah, about 3 to 4 hours for that to fully wear off. And yeah, that's just like not ideal. I'm out of space. I'll just cook this one after. Right now, what I'm finding interesting about these Zyns is comparing it to the vape is that like when I was hitting the vape throughout the day, it's just like it's so easy to like to just grab a rip and feel good in that quick moment, and it goes away so fast just because you like there's not a lot of like nicotine like per dose, I guess. Like it's still not good for you obviously, but it's not too much. Whereas I feel like with the Zyns, it's like what I'm playing in my head, and it's probably because it's the 6 milligrams. It's like, when do I want to get absolutely just nuked? Because as soon as you pop one of those bad boys in, like, oh my gosh, those next 20 to 30 minutes are just have been absolutely insane. So I'm wondering, insane, oh my. So I'm wondering if like if I'm gonna keep on getting desensitized to that and keep craving it more often throughout the day. But right now, considering it's just day 2, you know, and that was only like my second Zyn pack out of the 15. It really has not been too bad yet. But I think that's honestly just how people get addicted in general. Like at first, when you start something off, you're not, you know, full sending it immediately and just downing the whole pack in a day. But it slowly builds over time. So I'm curious to see like how quickly like my tolerance for this is going to keep on building up. I really want to know how quickly that's going to happen, because my friend Andrew, I mean, he says he goes through a pack a day. And if I'm thinking about this, I mean, a pack a day of these things, there's 15 pouches in there. That means he's switching one out every hour on average. He might take a little break here and there, but one a day is, right now, that seems crazy. So I'm curious, but I also I bet you I would have done this, just taken one without eating earlier if it was a 3 milligram. So maybe today we'll go buy the 3 milligrams so I can really kind of compare and contrast the two. Lunch is done. Zyn time. Hey, you want to put it in for me? Mackenzie shook. She said no. She doesn't want me zinning. Oh, I tried to do it how Andrew said. I felt like a professional just now. Got this whole Zyn thing down. All right, I'm gonna keep you guys updated how it goes. I can already tell you that it definitely like upsets my stomach. Hold on, I gotta go spit. I'm not trying to swallow any of it, but I think just the fact that you're like salivating just automatically makes some of it like go down into your stomach, and everything's connected, you know? And I can just feel that like I'm not used to this, so I feel a little bit of like sensitivity, and I just ate my food. My stomach feels really good, and I already felt a little bit of like that. I don't know, it's like a pinching almost. I don't really know how to describe it, but it doesn't feel great. It's like that same burning that goes on in my lip every time that I put it in is the same feeling that I have like in the pit of my stomach. It doesn't feel good. So like a key difference that I'm noticing right now that I say that is that like when it comes to the vaping, I actually enjoy like the flavored air of it, like made it enjoyable. And so the physical sensation of it because of that was like enjoyable. Downside was that like if I would go run or anything, like I would feel like shortness of breath, and I didn't like that. But that was like the only like physical thing that I didn't like. Although sometimes if I was vaping consistently for like a couple of months, my gums would feel funny. So I'd really make sure to floss, because if not, my gums would feel weird. As for this, I don't like that physical sensation that I feel like on my gum, but it doesn't last very long. It lasts probably like 5 to 10 minutes max of that like burning irritation feeling. But like then the physical effects, which I'm starting to get to right now that I just put it in, are way stronger. Like the psychological effects, like the focus and like how it makes my body feel are just way stronger with this compared to the vape. I want to say it's significantly different with this compared to that. It's hitting me right now. This thing knocks me back every time that I take it. This is happening to me every single time I put one of these Zyns in. I think I'm definitely going to have to try the 3s to see if it still does this, because right now I feel like I'm falling backwards. I am leaning back in my chair, but like I feel like I'm falling. This is crazy. It's crazy how it does it every time. I'm wondering if that'll go away with time though. Andrew says he doesn't feel this at all anymore when he puts one in, which is, I don't know. I'm sure that it's not, if you get desensitized to this, it's definitely because you've been using consistently and whatnot. But what I'm doing right now, actually, I'm watching some educational videos on Zyns. I want to understand like what their effects are and like what they do for everything. Guys, I gotta lay down. I think it's because I haven't done like 2 packs of these in one day before. And at least this one, the second one of the day, is knocking me out right now. This lightheadedness is insane. By the way, I got some comments on my last video about like how I have these when this channel has 900 subscribers. These are from my shorts channels. For me personally, I've never had a long form only channel that has had over 100,000 subs. Honestly, I think even over 5,000, because everything shorts is just so easy to get views and subscribers on. But it's like one of my life goals and dreams to be able to do this for a channel that I only post long form videos on. And so, not saying that this is going to happen to this channel, but it is just one of my dreams. And anyway, at least this is from a shorts channel, and so is the world record. So actually what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to meditate. I did this in the previous video as well, and I want to be good about meditating every day. I just think it's like really good for your health overall. I want to meditate right now and still keep it in, and I'm going to see if I can like be really like in tune and like aware of what I'm feeling as I'm doing this thing. So let's dive into that. I'm getting like sweaty and clammy again. I think that just happens to me like at least every time. I can tell I'm less sweaty and less clammy than the first day and the one that I took this morning, and it's probably just my body just getting used to having just an insane rush of 6 milligrams of nicotine. And I'm gonna be honest, my stomach is really hurting right now. I gotta go. Okay. I'm not gonna get graphic. I'm just gonna let you know my digestive system is not doing so hot, and I that's not good. Okay, just wrapped up that meditation, and it was an interesting one because you know I started meditating right as I put this thing in, and right at the beginning I noticed that my heart rate was like pretty sky high, and I was having a really hard time concentrating. And it's normally harder to concentrate at first anyway, but it was like abnormally difficult to concentrate. Then after about 5 minutes or so, I was like insanely locked in. And that made me actually understand why some people say that like smoking nicotine and whatnot helps them like concentrate and focus on things. Because normally throughout the course of my meditation session, what happens is that you start meditating for me, and then over time, the longer that I'm meditating, the more I'm able to focus on the sensations of my breath and everything that's like happening, and like noticing all like the small details of like what's going on. And it takes a decently long amount of time for me to be able to do that. Whereas with this Zyn in, it took about 5 minutes, and I was just like noticing very intensely things that I normally wouldn't be able to notice either that quickly or that strongly for that period of time. And so it was like, that was a big moment for me to realize this is what people mean when it helps them concentrate, because that was almost like surreal how quickly that happened. And then the longer that I kept meditating, it was about a 45-minute meditation session. the longer that I kept meditating, the more I kept actually losing my ability to focus throughout that 45-minute session. Whereas normally it's the opposite of that. The longer I'm meditating, the more pronounced my meditation effects are towards the end, especially. Just had the opposite effect, and I just want to say that's just how the nicotine was, right? It was a big spike, which was like too much for my body to handle at that point, and then the slow tapering of my attention and awareness throughout time. So that was interesting because normally it's the other way. It's increased attention. So I get it now. I get the concentration effect now. That was very interesting to learn. It's pretty late in the day now. What time is it? 7:15 p.m. And we just took the dogs to the dog park. And I'm ready. So this is going to be my third one today. And I'm kind of curious to see if I'm going to like taking it right now this late at night. So let's go ahead and pop another one of these bad boys in. It feels so funny every time I do it. Okay. It's in there. Oh yeah, already the spiciness is starting. I don't know if I like the experience of taking these, I'm going to be honest. Maybe I'm just not a zinner. The good news is that I did not really feel this one too much. Like, it didn't knock me out. It didn't want to make me lay down in pain. And the burning sensation this time really was actually not that bad. The downside is that it did absolutely mess up my digestive system, and I had to run to the bathroom like within 5 minutes. It was not good. So I think I'm gonna keep on trying the 6s again tomorrow, just to see if like my digestive system is going to adapt to this just massive influx of nicotine. And if not, I'm going to get the 3s and go from there. But like, if my body might just not be able to tolerate this much nicotine for me personally. And maybe I just need to do like a lower dose for my body, and I'll still feel like the mental effects that come with it, because right now I feel good. Mentally, I feel good. If it weren't for it like ruining my stomach, my like the physical feeling that I'm feeling right now feels pretty good. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, panic has set in. I feel like throwing up. I gotta get some food in me or something, and we have nothing in the house, and I gotta go. I feel like I'm fighting for my life not to throw up right now. Hold on, it just kicked in. I held it back. I just spit out that last one just because like it had been in there for like half an hour, and I think, I haven't had dinner. I've had way too much nicotine in my system. I told Mackenzie I'm gonna go to McDonald's, and she said no, not allowed. And that's because yesterday I told her, I was like, I'm trying not to have fast food this week because between you and me, I've been feeling a little chunky. I feel fat. And so I said, you know what? I don't want fast food because it's gonna keep making me feel fat, because it's just not good for you. It's gonna, I don't need to over explain that. So she doesn't want me to have fast food either, because she said, you know what? I'm gonna join you on that, because we don't want to be fat. Just because you're in a relationship is not an excuse to be fat. So now I'm going to the grocery store. So I'm going to hold back my puke here for God knows how long while I run to the grocery store to get myself some healthy food. Come on. I hope I make it. I hope I make it there. I didn't even have enough time to grab the audio equipment because I didn't want to throw up. I'm coaching myself to breathe. Breathe calm. Nothing's wrong. I'm all good. I'm holding it back. I'm gonna get to the grocery store and back, and I will survive. I'll buy like a protein shake, hell yeah. Pre-made salad for the win. That's my healthy choice, that's instant. On my way running out of the house, I asked Mackenzie, like a good fiance, I said, you want anything from the store, text me. She texted me just a whole week dinner. I'm suffering right now, but I'm not gonna let my girl down. So I'm out here shopping for everything. Meanwhile, my stomach is in shambles. Guess what? I did it, I bought it, and I'm driving home now and I cannot wait to eat. The good news is that the feeling of throwing up has gone down. The moving vehicle doesn't feel good, but I'm fighting. I'm a fighter at heart. And I'm not gonna throw up, not today. Shoot, I might as well just pop another Zyn in. That's how much I'm not gonna throw up. No, I'm kidding, but I'll tell you what, tomorrow, if I don't feel better taking these tomorrow, I'm definitely downgrading to the 3s ASAP pronto.
So I asked Chris to get me red chili paste, and he got me red chili crisps.
I have failed you tonight.
Red chili paste. You said, isn't that what it is?
I said, did you mistype it or did I misread it? I wasn't a pain.
It doesn't even say red. It says spicy chili crisps.
It was in the red section with all the red things.
Yeah.
Guys, I have terrible news. I didn't even want to admit this in front of Mackenzie. That's why I had to step outside. I just had a really big craving for a vape. I have not had cravings for the vape since I quit the video. Since I did the other video where I quit it. And I think now, because I'm having this nicotine again, it's actually making me think about the vape again. It was just a brief flash, so maybe I don't want to overdo it. But that's not a good sign, because it's just like you have a little bit of nicotine and then your brain is like, yo, give me some more. And if I'm not having a good experience because the 6 milligrams are too strong, I think my brain is like, hey, don't do such a big nicotine dose. Like, hey, let's maybe tone it down a little bit. And just a little rip of the vape. And I don't like that. But again, this is why you shouldn't do this stuff to begin with, because I think it's just a rabbit hole that it goes down where once you start it, it snowballs and has its own effect and wants you to keep going. And this is how these companies get you hooked on this stuff, and then they just take all your money. You know what I just thought of as well? Isn't it crazy to think that, like, not long ago, I almost just had to throw up because I had too much nicotine in my system. And then, like, half an hour, 45 minutes after I just ate, my body was like, hey, but we're not done with it yet. You want to get some more? And that's why I thought of the vape. No way. It's crazy how your brain works, and it just says, yo, load me up on that dopamine. Good morning. It's the next day. Sun isn't even out yet. I've been up probably for like, what time is it? It's 7:30. I got up at 6, and I just remembered that Andrew told me he puts one in as soon as he brushes his teeth. And guess what? I have brushed my teeth. I brushed my teeth about an hour ago, so I'm kind of late right now. It's time to dive in. I have to kind of whisper because Mackenzie's still sleeping. I also, I thought about telling you this last night before I went to bed. I definitely think that Zyns are not nearly as bad for you as vaping, because vaping, you're just inhaling. You're just inhaling the smoke, which is not good. And this feels like, even though they're nuking me every time, if I just downgraded, I would still get the nicotine. I do think this would be a better step to quit nicotine overall than vaping. But it, I mean, never getting started on any of this stuff is definitely the answer. You know, it's obviously nicotine is an addictive chemical, etc. So I just took Ranger to his grooming appointment, and on my way, I spit out the Zyn or whatever, and I got it this morning. It felt good. If the 6 milligrams was not too much, you know, like give your brain a day to recover. And it felt like, honestly, it gave me like more energy than a coffee did, which was crazy. So, very intense. However, it's such a big up and down in energy, the way that it works. It's so weird. So, now I'm kind of just like back to normal, I guess. I still have some of like the energy benefits, but I definitely think I'm gonna be a bit more desensitized to it today than than I was yesterday when I was about to pass out from my third pack. On top of like finding it interesting how your body builds tolerance over time, I'm also realizing that I was more tired than normal this morning, and then I took the Zyn and I was like above baseline for a brief moment while that high was hitting, and then it kind of brought me to like what my baseline was before zinning and just a little below it. So it's like, because you're experiencing these higher highs, the medium, I think that your baseline is just like a little bit lower on average, and your brain is just constantly trying to get back to that baseline, and it's looking for the most easy and convenient way of doing it. Oh yeah, now we gotta stop at the gas station to get some of the threes, because I gotta try those out. Because my thought on this as well is that the problem with these products is that they're habit forming, you know? And if the 6 milligrams, maybe today I would be fine, but I don't know. And the whole purpose of this experiment is to see like be like super consciously aware, seeing what process people go through when they get into these habit forming products that just aren't, everybody just knows that they're not really good for you, but I want to be aware of how that happens so I can combat it. Because at least for me, this is putting I liked vaping and the nicotine kept me hooked in, and now taking the nicotine in a different form is really putting it into a whole different like lens for me to like understand why I was so hooked on it for so long. So let's go buy some of these threes. Okay, the target has been acquired. We got the Zyns, the threes. Okay, so it's been a few hours since the last Zyn. Let's go ahead. I feel like, I don't know, you know what it is? I actually genuinely kind of have like a craving to put one in, because that first one that I had this morning wasn't too much. And so like my brain is being like, oh, time for the next spike, you know? Not ideal. It's definitely not healthy, but I'm following what my brain says to do for this video. Let's give it a shot, and I'm curious to tell you how the threes are gonna do for me. Off the rip, these spearmint ones are so good. I completely understand how people would really like these. Wow. That's awesome. Wow, I'll tell you what, I'm definitely getting desensitized to it, because I just put in this 3 and I haven't felt anything crazy, so it's definitely been like a smoother one. I feel like a little bit of a small one, and I was like, oh, after this I could probably put in a 6 to get that feeling. And I caught myself thinking that, and that's the problem. Okay, so update on the threes is that it went really well, and I didn't really feel much. It was nice and smooth. The flavor was incredible. I see why this is the most popular flavor that Andrew has, and that I think everybody else uses it. From my knowledge, this is the can, this green one, that I see the most. But I think now that my brain is getting used to it, it's easier to take more. I have noticed today, though, I've been worse with my self-discipline. According to my Ultra Human Ring that tracks my sleep, I slept great. I had great sleep last night, like 82, it's pretty good. I don't know, every time that I'm like in the 80s in these sleep scores, I feel really good. I'm struggling today on the self-discipline, and I can tell you that it's just because of having the nicotine running through my brain throughout the day. So hopefully if I have some more and like really lock in, I'll be okay. But it's starting to be the crutch that I thought it would be. Made myself a good meal. Chicken, healthy. It's time for one of these bad boys. It's lunchtime. 2:45 p.m. I'm kind of excited for this. Now it's my third day of like taking this stuff, and I have to tell you, today's definitely like, it feels good right now. And I feel it feels good without any of it hasn't been overdone yet. This is only my second 6 milligram. It was when I took the third one yesterday that it was like too much, but I can already tell I'm kind of desensitized to it. I'm also not reaching the same high as I did previously. So yeah, it just makes sense that the more times that you do this thing, that like it's just not going to keep having the same effect, and that's how you get into taking more and more and more, and your baseline gets affected. I think I've come to realize, including with the vaping video, by the third day is almost like when you become dependent on it, to at least for me, to start feeling like, okay, I need that again to get back to a higher place. And so when it comes to like these addictive chemicals, they act pretty fast. What I'm starting to realize is that there's certain pockets of the internet, as I've done more study and research into like the different various forms that people are taking it, that there is also a subsection of the internet that touts its benefits, right? So a lot of people say that like nicotine for fat loss and for focus, or you have these benefits. But what I'm realizing personally from my experience is that you can have these temporary benefits, but you're paying for it so much more in other categories, right? So I do think that I've probably been a little bit less hungry having this nicotine, and when I was having the vape, I was just a little bit like less hungry than usual. And like yesterday during the meditation, I was able to focus more intensely in that moment, in that like half hour where the nicotine was at its peak. But then the other 3 to 4 hours that I was not, getting a dose of nicotine, my baseline is just way lower. So like, yeah, you can take a little something to get a temporary benefit, but that temporary benefit is just not worth all the other downsides for the baseline that you live your life at. And I just thought of a funny example. I remember watching this one video from a fitness YouTuber where he was like looking at like hacks that some people use to boost their testosterone for muscle growth. And for a period of time, there was a group of people that what they would do was they would watch porn to raise their testosterone levels before getting into their exercises and their lifts, right? Because it was shown that like people who watched porn had higher testosterone levels, but that testosterone it was released in peaks, right? So they would watch porn, then their testosterone level would increase peak during that moment while they were watching it, and then afterwards that testosterone level drops back to normal, and then even kind of dips down a little bit, right? So those people were thinking, oh, you're getting a better lift in that moment as you're working out your muscles, you have more testosterone, but then your body has to recover the other 23 hours of the day, 22 hours of the day, depending on how long you work out. And those other 22 hours, you are now at a lower baseline, and your performance from a physical like weight training perspective was not getting any benefit because you just weren't recovering as well. Yeah, you got a harder workout for that 1 hour, but that harder workout doesn't mean anything because you didn't recover as well. I think that's the same thing that's happening with nicotine and these people that are pushing the ideas online that they help you with focus, that they help you with fat loss, that they help you with these other things. Yes, it's temporarily true, but like it's not really the right answer, right? Yeah, you can take some nicotine to help you with fat loss because you're going to be less hungry as you're taking that nicotine. But how about just having a healthier diet, like I'm fighting actually harder today to be disciplined on the things that I need to do. And it's requiring me more willpower for me to do the work that I need to be doing today. And it's so easy to let willpower lapse, right? I've had more moments today where I've been distracted and scrolling on my phone when I shouldn't be, and haven't been as productive as I need to be because I'm fighting. So then I put this nicotine in there to help me concentrate for a little bit, and I've been more concentrated over the course of these past 20 minutes. But I already know as soon as this nicotine high goes down, the remaining 3-4 hours of this workday that I'm going to have are just not going to be as effective because I'm going to have a more difficult time concentrating. But you know how I can fix that? By taking more nicotine. And guess what? Then I'm going to keep consuming the product. And then guess what? The guy selling the Zyns packs is getting a whole lot richer because it's just so easy to spend your money on these things that don't have long-term benefits. I think that's what I'm starting to realize more out of all of these addictive substances and chemicals and vices. I want you to be aware, like I'm learning, that you should watch out for people selling short-term benefits as long-term benefits when they're not. Another quick update. The high from like this one that I just put in is now gone. And I just feel like a zombie right now. Like my energy is like, has mega dipped. It like, to the point where I thought, I was like, maybe I'll just put another one in. And maybe I will, but I was like, maybe I'll just put another one in to get back to that high so I can keep on being productive. Because especially this channel is doing so well right now. I'm so grateful. And it just got monetized today, which is a really, really cool big step for me in this long form YouTube channel dream of mine. And I can't even concentrate right now because it's just like, now I'm way below baseline and it is not, it's not feeling great and it's not feeling rewarding. I'm like, dang, I have this dream that I want to work on, and because I feel like a zombie, it feels like I can't to my fullest effectiveness right now, and that just feels to me like leaving potential on the table. And you know what, for the sake of this video and going all in on this experiment, I bought the 3s for a reason. So wow, just now thinking about putting one in is already making me feel better, because I'm like, okay, here's my solution. Man, that is crazy. My mood is better just knowing the fact that I'm about to down it. That is so crazy. Okay, well, let's see what the effects are. This spearmint flavor is so good. I hope you can see the loop that this is sending me down. You know what's another thing I've noticed today? Yesterday I had 18 milligrams and you saw me. I was puking, about to throw up, having the worst time ever. I'm at the same dosage right now, halfway through my day. It's about 3:30 right now. And I feel fine so far. Whereas yesterday, it was pretty quick that my stomach got messed up. Not today. My body's adapting. And by the way, I have literally not changed any other factors. Wow, I'm trying to be so aware of the immediate differences. Like, normally when you take this stuff, you aren't thinking about like the habits that it's forming and how quickly it's having effect. You know, you're just enjoying it. Trying to be really mindful of everything that's going on is making me realize that now that I'm probably like 10 minutes into this new 3 milligram, I'm concentrating just like normal. I'm concentrating at my baseline level. That's the problem with it, but like, at least I'm able to concentrate how I want to. Update, I think it's the time that I can confidently say they have me hooked, because every time I take one of these, I feel really good and really productive. And now, when I don't take one, I don't feel as productive. To the point where I'm gonna take another one right now because I'm not done with everything that I need to do today. Continuing to take it, even though it's the very same thing that's limiting me, is the only way that I can do the things that I want to do. Crazy. But I'm going to keep on going for the sake of this video, for the sake of this experiment. I think jumping on the 6s too early was just giving me a bad reaction yesterday. And maybe I'm curious to see, as the further I keep on going, like let's say by like, because right now it's Wednesday, so I'm curious if by like Friday I'm just going to have to do 6s all day to like maintain this baseline that I'm at right now that feels good. But at least for today, these 3s have been doing the job. It's definitely a Zen day. This is crazy. It has been great cruising on the 3s throughout the day. I popped in another one off camera. I couldn't show you guys. Anyway, so I was busy, but I popped one in the meantime, and your boy was sharp. So now it's about 7:30 p.m. I cannot believe how much more nicotine I've been able to have today, no problem. What I'm realizing about today is that I needed the amount of nicotine that I took yesterday to feel normal. And then I needed more to feel good. And I still feel like I could take another one right now, which is exactly what I'm gonna do. This nicotine pouch right here, I'm actually craving it right now. By the way, you know what's one thing that I noticed today? I'm using these to feel good. Like the Band-Aid that it does is it makes you feel good, but it's not fulfilling. I was then working on editing a video for this channel, and I felt fulfilled. It was so fulfilling, it felt so good, and it was like filling my cup of happiness, of fulfillment, of like life enjoyment. And this is a feel-good thing, but it's not fulfilling. It doesn't carry the same weight. So this is more than anything I've realized is just a temporary band-aid for problems. So I'll go ahead and apply this temporary band-aid right now. And we thrive! See how much better I'm feeling now that I've had so much today? That's crazy. Mackenzie went to go have wine night with the girls, and I'm just gonna let you know right now, I'm gonna have the very last one. You saw me put in the previous 6. This is a 3 just to top off my night. It's been feeling really good, and I'm like on like one of the emotional highs from it. Man, my hair's crazy right now. Except when I put it in, I started getting like the nicotine hiccups, and that was really weird. Andrew told me that would happen. I didn't think I was gonna get to that point, but I did. So I'm gonna pop this one, go pick up Mackenzie, and just call it good for the night. I woke up insanely early today. It's 5:30 in the morning, and I just knew I wasn't gonna be able to sleep anymore. I think I probably had a little bit more of a difficult time going to sleep when I did, because I had just taken the, you know, my last Zyn at like 7:30, 8:30 or something. But I'm gonna start my day. I'll tell you what, I feel terrible right now, and it's probably because my body's also like gonna be like, hey, now that you're up, get some nicotine in you so you feel normal. I just finished that morning run. It was great. I just feel so exhausted. I'm gonna say right now that like it's partially because I woke up earlier than usual, but 2, I'm gonna pop one of these bad boys in right now. I don't want to do this right now, but I want to feel better, so I'm gonna do it anyway. And I'm gonna tell you if this fixes what I was feeling. I feel so much better. And this is how they get you hooked, because I'm about to take another one, because I'm not back to my baseline. So let's go ahead and pop another one of these bad boys in here. Crazy, because see, the 3s are enough to like, I'm like, oh, I need it a little bit more often. If I do enough of these 3s often enough, eventually I'll just have to do the 6s to really feel the effect. And then before you know it, you're just doing the 6s over and over. What I have noticed about this compared to vaping is that there's a lot less of like the negative vaping side effects. Like my lungs don't feel bad, my throat doesn't feel bad. All right, so update is that I had one off camera, and I did it specifically to make sure that I was doing it because I wanted to, not just for the video. For the authenticity of the experiment, I was like, let me choose to do this without like documenting all of it. And let me tell you, felt great. It felt so good, it hit me better than a coffee. Like it brought me back to baseline, like better than a coffee would. Anyway, I still have, you know, 3-4 more days of just enjoying these and seeing what the experience is really like, and what it's like to get hooked on nicotine in a different form other than the vape. So let's go ahead, and I'm just gonna take another one right now because I feel like it's time. I feel like I'm ready. It's 9:50 in the morning, almost 10 in the morning, and that's, you know, it's like, now I'm looking at it as like a benefit. I'm like, oh, okay, I was tired, let me take another one, even though these are the same things that are making me tired. You know what I also thought was interesting? I was watching a video from this doctor yesterday, and he was saying that at least one of the things that you want to do is switch the side that you're putting it on, because there's the potential for it to cause problems to your gums with receding gums and issues. And so at least like giving a side a rest is important. And so when I heard that, I think it just highlighted to me the potential dangers that are involved with this. Obviously, you know, everybody with like this stuff, they always say, oh, we don't know like the long-term effects. Yeah, because people have been smoking cigarettes for like, I don't know, 80 plus years. I don't know how long. So like they have like a lot of long-term data on this. While this feels like it's less harmful than inhaling vapors and smoke, it does come with its own risks. And I like to take care of my teeth, so the fact that you could kind of like mess up your gums and like your oral health from this, I mean, smoking does that as well, but this has that same style of risk in a different form. So I don't know. Whenever you're doing something that like is clearly bad for you, I think it's just good to be aware. Most of the time, everybody just thinks, oh, it's not going to happen to me. And the truth is that for most people, it doesn't happen to them. I'm on a car ride right now. I don't think I'm going to get in an accident. That's not going to happen to me. I don't think I'm going to get it rear-ended. But hey, who knows the day that there's going to be some idiot behind me that's, you know, staring at their phone, not paying attention, and they hit me. Then that day it will be me. I'm just gonna go ahead and leave these in the car. Maybe somebody will break in. We'll see who's truly addicted. This spearmint, man, it is so good. At least with the 3s, I can say I'm genuinely enjoying this experience. Feels good. I feel great right now. I just put that other one in not too long ago. I'm on an emotional high currently. When I was just addicted to the vaping, it was like you could take a hit of it constantly. I could be driving, take a hit, and the flashes of like dopamine are just so brief, but you can do it pretty continuously, you know, like I'd hit it right here, wait 30 seconds, whatever, drive a little bit, hit it again, and you can just keep going through it all day. Whereas these, it's definitely a lot more pronounced. Like you would get just a little bit of dopamine hit on the vape, and then this, it's just like you get a big spike. It lasts a significantly longer amount of time. I think the reason that matters is because like it's how it affects like the psychology of taking it. Because at first with the vape, it's like, okay, let me go ahead and just take a little hit right here, and it feels like really compulsive. At least it did for me, where it was like, okay, I want to take a rip now, and then like 5 minutes goes by and it's like, okay, let me take another rip right now, and it was always like, let me do this right now. Whereas with these, it's like, okay, let me put one in right now, feel the effects for a longer period of time, and then put one in again later the next time I'm ready for it. So it feels a lot less impulsive, and I can't really tell if it's... I feel like it makes it feel healthier without being healthier, because it doesn't feel as compulsive. Have you ever seen a fiend when they're looking for their vape? I used to be that fiend. That's why I know. It's like, where's that vape? Hey, where's that vape? Does anybody know where it's at? Whereas like with the Zyns, I'm feeling like it's like a lot more calm when it's like, oh, I don't need that vape because I don't need that instant hit right now. It's like, okay, I can take one then, or if I have to wait a little bit longer, it's like, okay, it's fine, because at least the effects of it are going to last for a good amount of time to where it feels less compulsive. So it's still building a dependency, but the dependency is less compulsive. Like, I'd be curious to know like how many minutes a day my brain would spend spiked up on nicotine and the dopamine with the vape, versus how many minutes it is with the Zyns. Hi, fettuccine. Say hi to everybody. Say hi to everybody. They liked when you said hello last time. Say hello. Yep. Lots of kisses, huh? Yeah, there you go. Say hello. You know, yesterday I really struggled with the self-discipline. And I'm hoping that today, even though I'm going to take more of these Zyns, I don't struggle as much with the self-discipline. I think I've had a good start today. So I'm hoping that momentum keeps on carrying forward, and I can have a pretty good, like, productive day where I'll go to sleep feeling proud of accomplishing everything that I've done. In order to save myself from embarrassing myself online, I've held back from saying some ridiculous things. But now I'm one of the boys as of today, because I've just been downing these. So I'm going to put a little Zinachino Zimbabwe in. So I just watched a video on Zyns, and apparently the average person that buys these Zyns takes somewhere between 8 and 15 a day, which honestly, it makes a lot of sense. I'm on my 4th one, and this 4th one, I feel good, but it didn't give me nearly the same the feeling that I was getting like when I was grocery shopping with you earlier. I'm almost ready to switch it out again. I said earlier that it was making me feel better than a coffee would, so I actually went and I bought myself an energy drink as well, because I want to see if I feel a significant difference between like a caffeine boost versus the nicotine high. Okay, so I just had a frustrating moment, and I was walking up to my upstairs to my office so I could get back to work. And I thought to myself, I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna pop the Zyn in and get focused on my tasks again. And that's when I realized, I said, I knew that the Zyn would be a band-aid. It was just one of those quick thoughts, you know, that happened almost instantaneously. And I caught it and I was like, dang, I've gotten to the point where now I know that I can use that as a band-aid, and like my brain immediately came up with a feel-good solution, even though it wasn't actually the solution to what I was feeling. You know, it was just like, just such an easy way out. And I think that's how it becomes really quick, being on this fourth day of taking Zyns, to start becoming reliant on them, because it's just so easy to know that like it's gonna put me in a good mood whether I solve my problem or not, because it's just gonna force those feel good positive chemicals to flood my brain. Also, the thing that frustrated me probably shouldn't have been that frustrating. It was just like a mild frustration, so it made me think that I was feeling the negative emotion that I was feeling was a bit stronger than I would say I would have normally felt it. And I want to say that's because I haven't had a Zyn probably in about 3 hours now. And I want to say I was at a lower baseline because there's just not all the dopamine going on in my brain. So then when something slightly frustrating was happening, it made it feel more frustrating than it actually was, and made my brain then go to the easy solution. So like, not only is there the possibility that the Zyn and the nicotine and the way that it makes me feel was causing the problem when the nicotine isn't rushing through my bloodstream, but it was also presenting itself as the solution for that problem. It's kind of, I mean, it's almost like a toxic relationship where like, the reason I'm thinking about this right now is because I just watched the Netflix documentary. It was like the mom that was like bullying her daughter through text messages, and then having so that her daughter would come to her for advice, and she could like be there for her daughter and give her love. It's like that type of thing, you know, like it's putting you down and then offering itself as the solution to it. I just had such a good lunch. Time to get back to my productivity day. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in a little Zimbabwe right now. I'm gonna be so locked in. I'm not really feeling this one. As in, I don't really feel many of the effects at all. Hardly feel it. So I'm definitely getting desensitized to it. And I heard somebody else on one of their videos say, oh, the first one that I take in the morning is like the strongest one, the one that would make them feel like the most euphoric. And then the rest of the ones that they take the rest of the day are never as good as that first one. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I haven't had that experience. I just had it. Because now my brain is getting used to it. But this is like I don't even know how many now I'm just losing track. This is like my 4th or 5th one. It made me naturally crave now the 6 milligram. This was like taking nothing, and then you know what other feeling comes with that? It was like, oh, it's kind of like a wasted pack. So let me put another one in so I can feel something. You guys are not ready for this video inception. So I'm editing this video right now that I'm just about to upload probably tomorrow as it's done exporting. And in that video, I'm telling you how I'm making this Zyn video right now. And then I mentioned, I'm like, okay, I'm doing this Zyn video. And as soon as I said it in the edit, I was like, oh, that sounds good right now. You just saw me put one of these in. It was probably about 45 minutes ago. And it did not have a crazy effect, even though it was a 6. And I was like, oh, that sounds good right now. Maybe I'll put another one in. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's gonna be so many Zyns today. I had a thought. Anyway, what I actually wanted to tell you is that I was sitting down having my meditation just now. And I had a thought during that meditation. An interrupting thought, but it was valid. Because what I thought to myself was that I have actually been, and this is gonna sound crazy, I've been unnecessarily harsh on the Zyn. Because I thought to myself, I keep telling you all the bad things about it because I think a certain part of me is trying to convince myself or continue reminding myself of the negative side effects of it because it has honestly felt so good taking it. genuinely, which is not ideal. It's not ideal to be like, yeah, this thing's so awesome that I want to defend it. So I think I'm trying to be very aware that the fact that this is an addictive chemical that is just known to just not be good for you, and it's habit forming. So I keep telling myself and you guys like the negative side effects of it, but I actually want to tell you some of the good things that I want to give it props for. When I think about it in comparison to vaping, I can tell that throughout my day, it feels better than when I was vaping. So when I was hitting the vape, because the nicotine hit is so much smaller, you need it more consistently. So in my opinion, that was more habit forming for me because it was always on my mind. It was always in my pocket. I remember one time I was doing a 10K run, which is about 6 miles or so. And I remember finishing that run, and the first thing I wanted to do was to go back to the car where my vape was and take a rip of the vape. After just doing like this like pretty healthy thing, which was running 6 miles. With this, I'm like, okay, if I take one right now, I don't need to think about it because this nicotine is going to be in my system for so long that I'm going to feel good for so long that I can like think about it every few hours compared to every few minutes. And so I think if you want to quit taking nicotine from like a vape or cigarettes or some other type where you're literally inhaling it, I actually do think this is a much better, healthier alternative that will make that process easier. I also think it's curious to see that there's definitely less of a stigma around it, in my opinion. Like, whereas somebody can just put a Zyn in and then you forget, you know, like you don't even know. Like when I told Andrew I was going to hit a Zyn, he's like, dude, yeah, it's in all the time. I didn't even know. He was like, probably whenever you talk to me at any given time, I have a Zyn in. I would have never known. Whereas like if you see somebody vape, you know they're vaping, but you don't actually know if somebody has a Zyn in or not. Here we are. I got it. This one's giving me hiccups. I gotta see why this happens. What is the science behind this? So making me really hot and sweaty. Just do that. I've seen it make people throw up. It's making me hiccup. I think this is the most I've had in a day. And right now it's like, see, it's like too much. It's like my body's rejecting it. And like, thank God I haven't had to throw up, but the fact that it's giving me hiccups is pretty crazy. What's funny is that, yeah, sure, it gave me, the last one that I had also gave me hiccups. And so when I have these, to me, this is a sign like, okay, this has to be the last one for the day. We're gonna ChatGPT, the world's most credible source. Apparently, what happens is that if the nicotine, I know, the hiccups are bad right now. The nicotine can go down into your esophagus and it irritates the nerve. And that's
you got a hiccup.
I do. I have the hiccups. Apparently, that irritation is what causes you to have hiccups, which is why you should. Why it's possible, like spitting out is probably a good thing because right now, oh man, it's just kind of like an annoying feature of these things. We're 6 minutes into hiccuping, so I'm gonna tell you how long this lasts. I will say, although hiccups are incredibly annoying, it is. I would actually, I think, take this over like a painful vape cough because sometimes if you were hitting it, like I did the very first rip of the vape, it just makes you cough and it hurts sometimes. Okay, it took about 18 minutes for those hiccups to go away, but now I'm back to normal. I'm just finishing my morning run with this girl. Hi everyone, hi. Morning run complete. Before I took off, I thought to myself, I can't wait to get back to try my next Zyn. My friend Andrew says he puts one in whenever he's running and working out. I mean, I'm sure it's helpful, but I'm not quite there yet. I'm gonna go all in and start with the 6 today. Okay, so it's 11:20, and I've already had 2 today, 2 of these 6 milligrams, and let me tell you, I feel like jittery. but like that first one felt absolutely incredible. The second one, the feeling, the euphoric feeling is just not as intense as it was at first. It still feels good. It's just making me a little bit jittery right now without feeling as positive as it was before. Also, it really makes me feel like I don't need coffee. Like if I like these nicotine pouches waking me up literally just as much. And if I do throw on a coffee on top of that, I'm almost like I get close to like overly energized. Like it ends up being like way too much stimulants running around my body. So last night I didn't deliver to you any like too many updates because I try to have like one night a week where, you know, I just hang out with Mackenzie like without really doing anything else. But I kept just downing these Zyns, and I'm gonna tell you what, I really just didn't feel it very much. And that was with the 6s, by the way. I'm almost done with the 3s. I'm gonna go on a run. I'm gonna pop one of these in right now for the run, and yeah, wish me luck. So, because I'm running and I have this thing in, I just cannot stop spinning right now. Emotionally, it feels like a good run. It's emotionally making the run easier. It feels like genuinely I'd rather have caffeine. Yeah, you know, caffeine makes me feel like not tired. And like not tired as I'm running, so I can run a little bit harder. And it also makes me feel more awake. This doesn't do that. This makes me feel emotionally like positive. So because I feel so good, I can run more. Well, I'll tell you if I can run more because I just started and I have 2.5 miles today. That's my goal. This makes the run feel so much harder. And then I looked out at my pace and I'm running faster than usual. So far I've noticed already is that the actual running itself is not easier. Not like when you take caffeine. Caffeine running itself is easier. However, my emotional like management during running, when running gets hard or I want to slow down or something, because I have these feel-good chemicals going in, is just easier to push past. The best way I can describe it is that it's like a low-grade runner's high. If you've ever been a runner, trust me, I was not for a very long time, and I still don't consider myself a runner. Getting a runner's high, you just feel like you're on top of the world. And then like with this, man, I just feel like I'm just like a quarter on top of it. I'm like, I have a couple of steps up the ladder, that's it. Honestly, tomorrow's my rest day. But what I should try tomorrow is caffeine and nicotine. Okay, bad news. I just looked down at my watch and my heart rate was at 174, which is absolutely insane. I guess I am setting a PR. I think then the surprising thing is that I'm setting a PR on accident, not on purpose. Okay, I just finished 2.5 miles. The second half of that run was so much slower than the first. I was definitely overdoing it at first just because I felt really good from this. And what's funny is I can still feel the nicotine effects, so I still feel like good. But because I felt good, I just ran too fast. And at least when I have caffeine, it doesn't give me the same like emotional boosting as nicotine does. So I'm more careful in the first half as well. That's a lesson learned for me. I told Mackenzie I needed to go to the gas station and get more Zyns because I just had the last ones in the pack and she was just laughing at me. It took a while to build up the tolerance for them, but I honestly, I mean, no promises, but I bet you I could get pretty close to finishing the next one. Tomorrow's Sunday, so I'm just gonna go hard today and tomorrow and see if I can just rack up that pack, because I bet you that's what Andrew would do, and Andrew's truly addicted to these bad boys. Here we go. I just went and I bought a fresh new pack. Here we go. This is probably gonna be my last pack.
Last pack, huh?
Yeah. Are you so disappointed about that?
No. I'm glad it's your last pack.
Why? I love zinning. I think, if I have to be honest, I prefer vaping, but it's doing the job. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I hardly even feel anything from these anymore. At least the 6s, like, I can tell because I'm paying really close attention, but if I wasn't paying really close attention, I'd just spit this one out and put a new one in and wait to feel something. But I'm getting pretty desensitized now. So this is entirely my fault, not even the Zyns. I just don't drink enough water when I have these Zyns, because in my brain I'm like, I have a Zyn in. What if I like accidentally swallow it, you know? So I'm giving myself headaches, I think. I don't even know if that's Zyn related. Earlier in this video, I said that I'd rather take getting hiccups over coughing painfully from the vape. And I want you to know I entirely retract that statement, because I've had hiccups. I had hiccups last night. I have hiccups right now. I have hiccups like 1 every 3 packs. And I've realized that I'm definitely a rip the Band-Aid off type of person, rather than slowly peel it off. This is incredibly annoying. I cracked open the Zyn on accident, and Mackenzie says it looks sus. Kind of does. Good morning, Zynners. I just woke up and I had a concerning moment. I've been popping those bad boys like candy all last night, and anyway, what I'm trying to tell you is that I was brushing my teeth and my gum bled, like from the regular brushing, and it bled right where I was putting the Zyns in. I brushed my teeth last night and there was no bleeding, but this morning, I think my gums were sensitive. Now, I don't think that happens to a lot of people, but it was weird to just brush my teeth normally, and then, you spit it out, and then there was red, and I said, what the heck? And I looked all over my teeth, and it was a little bit bloody there. Anyway, don't think that's going to stop me from being an absolute unit and popping on one right now. It's Sunday. This is going to be day 7, I think, of zinning, and I'm about to go hard today. I'm going to set a PR. You know what's one thing about the Zyns that if you're looking for nicotine, that I would say takes the L compared to a vape? With a Zyn, you put it in and you're good for a long time. However, if you want to have breakfast, you got to wait to have breakfast. You got to finish eating your food and then put it in. Whereas the vape, I used to wake up, take a rip, walk downstairs, take a rip, eat a bite of food, take a rip, drink a sip of water, take a rip, go back to eating the food, take a rip. Now it's like I have to have so much self-restraint waiting for like 20 or 30 minutes for me to finish eating. And I've noticed that I'm like, in the back of my brain, I'm like, I can't wait to be done eating so I can put one in. That's how they get you. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. I have, 5 left in there? It's kind of hard to see on this camera. I have 5 left. 4 left as soon as I put this one in. It is now like to the point where I'm hardly feeling them anytime that I put it in. It's really losing its effectiveness. But I also have been getting like the need to keep one in, which is kind of funny. I was hitting the vape constantly, and it was, especially the more that I vape, the easier it is to vape more, and it's the same with these things. I got this pack yesterday, and I thought I was gonna have to like push myself to finish it. I don't. It's just happening naturally. It almost feels weird not having one in now. What I noticed is that when I was vaping consistently, especially if I would vape a lot late at night, because nicotine is a stimulant, I would not get as restful of sleep as I still do with these. I can tell that my sleep has not gone nearly as bad as it did when I was vaping. I like no longer have digestive issues with this thing, or like, and yeah, I'll still get like hiccups and stuff, which is incredibly annoying, but like the other side effects that were making my body not feel great are almost entirely gone, besides my gum. That was concerning this morning. I'm gonna keep an eye on that. All right, here's how much progress we've purposely made on getting addicted to these Zyns. Where I kid you not, I was emptying my pockets and I found a spare Zyn in my pocket, and I was hyped about it. I said, hell yeah. And then I was like, oh my God, it happened. We've crossed the barrier of addiction. And I even got to the point where I was like, if I run out of Zyns today, and I still need one for my run tomorrow with caffeine, because I just want to test that out, I should go buy another pack and finish that one up and add another day to this challenge, which I might do. But I was like, wow. I just want to Zen so hard that I'm just adding them up. I'm just like, keep them rolling, keep them going. You hold this? Okay. Get yourself a supportive fiance. She didn't like that one. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This is fully like addict Chris coming out. There's one Zyn left in here and it's 7 p.m. I've been hanging out with friends throughout the day. And I was just like, if I had self-control, I would say, okay, this is going to be my last one. And then I'll start seeing like the withdrawal process. But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm like, it's Sunday. Day 7 isn't ready. So like, I feel like an inner compulsiveness inside of me to say, okay, yeah, go get one more can or whatever before you're done. All right, let's just put in the last pack right now. My other thought on this right now is that I am having such a good Sunday. When I don't have these in, I feel myself not being in as good of a mood as when they are in and it's a fresh pack and it's releasing nicotine in my brain. And I think that's why it's concerning, because it's starting to become like my emotions are starting to become dependent on this thing. So, but I can definitely tell I'm just like not as like happy or ecstatic about life when I don't have a fresh one of these in my mouth right now. I think that's why I've gone through that whole pack in pretty much 24 hours. So yeah, I'm having such a good Sunday that I don't want it to end yet. So I was like, let me get another fresh pack. And so here we are with a whole fresh new pack of these Zyns. And I'm going to say this is for sure the last one. And then we'll start the withdrawal process. But man, yeah, I just can't believe my emotions are starting to become a little bit dependent on this. Isn't that a kind of disappointing? So that's the problem with nicotine, you guys. It'll get you. And it sucks to feel that like my day's not going to be as good if I don't have one of these in here. Well, let's go ahead. I'm just going to enjoy this last pack, call it good. I've also learned about myself that I'm a big flavor person. That's what got me hooked so much on the vapes, is that I love the flavor of them. And so it made it easy to consume that nicotine. With these, every time I feel like the minty flavors start to die out, it makes me crave putting a new one in. And then what do? I consume more of the product, and then I get more hooked on it, and then I spend more money on it. That's just the cycle that it goes through. I think that's important to state, because if I think about it a lot, it pisses me off to think that somebody else in the world is profiting off of giving you an addictive chemical that is not good for you, and that you become dependent on, and affects your like emotions, your brain, your chemistry. And it's like you're downfall in a way. It's not like extreme, but it is addictive. It's not good for you. Everybody knows that. And there's somebody out there that's taking your money from it as they mess your life up. Yeah, it's bedtime. Just letting you guys know I've been putting in absolute work on this new pack. I'm gonna for sure finish it by tomorrow. It's 7 a.m. and I am unreasonably excited for how good this run is gonna feel. I just know it. Let's crack open some caffeine. Let's get some Zyns. Let's check my sleep score. Look at that. Again, a really high sleep score, 82, 80. Besides the day that I drank, that's excessive. I think it counted this wrong though. It says 2 hours a minute, 15 minutes of sleep. It was more like 4. But again, this was the other night, 83, 86, 87 movement. I don't know, 87, 89. I've been sleeping fine with this. Oh yeah, let's crack this bad boy open. All right, I got 200 milligrams of caffeine coursing through my veins. I had a fresh pack of Zyns in. It's time for these stimulants to show me what they got. Come on, let's go, fella. I'm like 2 minutes in my run. I finished my caffeine probably like 10 minutes ago now. The Zyn is just now starting to hit. And it's like, the best way I can describe it is I feel like my eyes were sleepy before I started running. And now that the stimulants are hitting, I feel like the world is in front of my eyes. Like I am ready to be awake. I'm not fully awake. I'm still a little bit groggy from like the sleeping, but I feel exhilarated. Okay, I'm not gonna look at my watch until the halfway point, and I'm just gonna run whatever feels good, and I'm gonna tell you what that's looking like. Halfway point update. Mentally, this feels like a cakewalk. That was mentally one of the easiest runs. It was so mentally easy to push today that it was like, I don't know, it was almost like ridiculous. I could tell if anything was going to give out today, it was going to be my legs from being sore still. I still feel good. I feel like the nicotine rushing through my blood right now. and the caffeine, I feel like alert and wide awake, and I don't mentally feel tired at all after that run. So yeah, I mean, I see why Andrew runs these. I guess the moral of the story here is that the stimulants are stimulating. I've been working on these bad boys all day, and this is my last Zyn. All right, here we go. It's bedtime. It's midnight. Got to take this bad boy out, and we will let the recovery process begin. You know what I have noticed about these things? They give me a lot of energy at night, especially if I keep putting them in. Nicotine's a stimulant, so, you know, kind of makes sense. But it definitely pushes my sleep schedule a bit further back than I would personally like, but, you know, we do what we do. Good morning. It's 7:40 a.m. I got a terrible night of sleep. Well, you know what? When I slept good, but I did not sleep very long because... One, I went hard on the packs yesterday because I was like, I got to finish this up today. I had like 6 left at probably like 7 p.m. And so I was like, okay, if I put one in every half hour, like I'll be done, you know, by sometime by closer to midnight or whatever. And it's true, at midnight I was done with them. But they gave me so much energy before bed that it was really hard to go to sleep. And so I fell asleep like around 1 a.m. And right as I was falling asleep, I swear I was asleep for 5 minutes. Mackenzie got food poisoning and was throwing up. And that was just not good. So then I stayed up with her. I'm going to be honest with you. I wish I had a Zyn in right now. I didn't. It's only been a few minutes, but comparing how good I felt yesterday morning when I was still a little bit sleepy compared to how I do now, I wish I had one in. Also, I was supposed to start this run probably like 20 minutes ago, and I just was walking just because I didn't really have the energy to start running, but that's not like me. I was like waiting to feel better to start running for some reason, and I just need to just do it. Guys, it's 7 a.m. and he had like a loudspeaker pointed out of his window driving. So like, this man is an absolute menace to society. When I was not using the vape, when I was quitting the vape, it felt like I was fighting a need, almost like on a really hot day, you know, and you're like super thirsty and you're like, I need some water right now. I need some water. I feel terrible. Like I need some water right now to feel better. Whereas with this right now, it's early on, but I feel like it's more like when you're just hungry, and yeah, maybe you haven't eaten in a while, and you're like, man, I really want some food right now. I want some food. I can hold off a little bit. I'll be okay. I want it, but I don't need it yet. That's kind of what it feels like. You know, thirst is like more urgent. Also, yesterday's run just felt so much easier that what I noticed I was feeling is almost like a sense of dread. Yesterday, it took no mental or physical effort really to run. Now it's not like that. And I noticed it gave me a sense of dread to be like, man, it's requiring so much more mental and physical effort to run slower that it almost feels demotivating. I have to try so hard for so little now. Okay, small thing that I'm noticing already as well. I'm gonna do my best, but I'm gonna call it early right now, just as a prediction, that I'm gonna be a lot crankier today randomly and have to use self-control to be in a good mood. All right, so it is 12:15 in the day, and it is not as bad as I thought it would be, because when I was putting the Zyns in, there's nicotine in your system all day. This honestly feels very similar to the vape. I want to say that it's a little bit easier than the vape, because the vape is a very compulsive behavior where it's like, I need it right now. I keep saying that. And the thing about this that's, I feel like, different about like this type of nicotine withdrawal process is I got used to like I don't know the right word is comfort, but I'll use that for now. I got used to like the comfort of always having a Zyn in my lip and always feeling the sensation of it, the minty flavor, and what it was doing to my body and brain, And now what's weird about this is that I just feel, it almost feels like an emptiness. Like there's just like an emptiness in my day behind my brain. Like there's just less overall life. It's really weird. That's the best way I can describe it. I feel a little bit spacey as well, which is not normal, comparative to how I was pretty focused and paying close attention to everything when I was on the Zyns. I'm trying to do a good job of my emotional management, trying not to get like cranky about anything. I did just get very upset like 30 minutes ago. Has nothing to do with me. I choose not to give people advice that don't take it, because I get emotionally invested in them solving their own problems. But then if you're just a person who cries wolf and you do nothing about it. Anyway, once I realized that, I was instantly out of my bad mood that I was in a minute ago. And also, when I feel this little bit of emptiness, I want to say that like the craving to put a Zyn in has been less intense, but it's lasted like a longer period, because every time that I feel that like life seems a little bit dull compared to when I had the Zyn in, it just like subtly reminds me of like, oh yeah, feel free to put one in when you're ready. Because that's the habit that I had when I was putting them in. Put one in when you're ready. Put one in when you're ready. So that's where we're at right now. I'll update you as further updates come along, but that's the main gist of what we're feeling right now. Yeah, so I just lost my own car in the parking lot. So that's how much my brain is functioning today. What's one other thing that I'm already realizing about the vapes versus Zyns is that once you open that door in your life, which you should never do, the problem with quitting it is that you're always going to miss it. At least that's been my experience. Now, I've gone through like months of being vape free and like no cravings, but you always in the back of your head remember, oh, that felt good. And it makes you miss that feeling sometimes. And I think that's the problem. You might not crave it. You might not have a compulsiveness to go and get it. And hopefully you don't even think about it. But if you're in a situation where somebody else is having a Zyn around you, or somebody else is hitting the vape around you, or doing something else that you quit, you're always going to think to yourself, oh, I remember. At least for me, the thought is, I miss like how good that felt at that time, and I might choose not to do it. I've had no genuine, spontaneous excitement over anything today, and that's unnatural for me. I'm a very happy-go-lucky, I guess. I don't know. I just have a lot of energy all the time, and I'm very excited about so many things. And I drink those coffees. They did wake me up a bit, but I haven't felt like just ecstatic. And I think that's because constantly riding that nicotine like bump up in emotions is like the artificial version of being happy. And so like right now my brain is just used to that. And I just have no genuine, authentic excitement about anything today. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad right now, but I just feel very neutral and like nothing is truly awesome. Yeah. I'm a lot less social today as well. I just went to the dog park and I didn't really say a word to anybody, and that's not like me. It's about to be 7 p.m. in 1 minute. The longer this day has gone on, the more I feel absolutely nothing. I literally feel like my emotions are just flat, like baseline, like there's nothing going on. If I let myself, I can get cranky real easy. I'm not gonna let myself. Still nothing. I'm just like a blank slate today. I think it's also kind of apparent in the fact that like I've been trying to come up with like updates to like send your guys' way and record, make sure like I'm recording and getting good content. But like honestly, the update is that I feel bland. All right, I am going to bed now. The energy is completely zapped out of my brain, and I mean at least it's good for falling asleep earlier, but I think my brain just needs to recover because today has just been so mid. It's 7 in the morning. I'm up. I feel a million times better today already. Oh, I can just tell that today's going to be a much better day. I haven't mentioned it too much on this video, but I've still been trying to meditate every day. It blows my mind how humid it is out here, and it makes the lens foggy. Just so fast. Anyway, I've been meditating every day, and so I can pay, like, I've been trying to do my best to pay really close attention to everything that's going on in my brain, and like how I'm feeling, and I can just tell that like today is going to be a lot better. I'm probably still going to have some of like the I guess symptoms of like not feeling in general as excited or ecstatic about things in life. This is crazy. It's bothering me how blurry it was anyway. But I think it's going to be better. I woke up and I immediately was in a better mood than I could feel yesterday. I started thinking about like, okay, like what do I want to accomplish today, etc. And that's like a thought I didn't even have yesterday. Yesterday I felt like I had no ambition at all. It was weird. I felt like I wasn't demotivated, but I wasn't motivated. I was literally just like existing yesterday. It was so weird. It is so much better today. That run went so much easier. No complaints. It was still, I still feel like a tiny bit bland, but that's fine. What I was going to tell you earlier as well is, as I sat down to work today, this is the first time that I had a genuine craving to put a Zyn in, where I had to like fight it. The other times yesterday, I think it was just because like my brain just had like no dopamine in it whatsoever. If I had a craving for a Zyn, I was just like, oh, whatever. Like, I kind of like miss it. Like, I'm longing for it. I told you guys that yesterday. Today, right now, it was the first time it kind of felt like impulsive, where like I have more energy. I'm like, oh, I wish I had one in right now. And then I had to fight the self-restraint to like, no, I'm not going to go get one. No, like, it's okay. Like, just ignore it and put it in the back of your brain, let it go away, etc. And so I think that is interesting. I think it's just the fact that I have more energy today, that maybe if I have cravings today, they're going to come with a little bit more potency. But I don't know. I'll keep you guys updated on that, and I'm not going to cave. So just every time that I crave one, I'm going to have to remind myself, no, not going to do it. Wow, I think today is going to be cravings day, because I just got in the car. Mackenzie's kind of in a rush. She has meetings this morning, etc. I said, you know what? I'm going to go get my girl a coffee. Give her a coffee, let her feel, you know, happy, etc., taken care of. So I'm going to go get this girl a coffee. I get in the car. It says low gas. I'm thinking in my head, oh, I should fill the gas tank up while I'm going to go get this coffee. And the second I had that thought, it hits me. I said, the gas station is where they sell the Zyns. And it's like, it's one of those like subconscious thoughts that happen so fast that it's like, okay, let me go get those Zyns and let me get one. And I'm like, no, self-control kicks in. And I said, no, I'm not gonna go get one of these Zyns because that's messed up. That's the whole thing. It's that I'm overcoming the nicotine addiction. I have two options right now. I could go there and use my willpower to not get one, which is probably what I'm gonna do because it's the most convenient. Or two, drive to a different gas station. And you know what strategy you should use? It depends on what type of person you are, because right down the road, it's like it's the gas station at my grocery store. Those they don't sell anything there. That's easy. But I've realized that that's part of how these companies do it on purpose. They put nicotine available to you very easily. You're gonna have to stop to get gas, and my brain now has an association with nicotine in the gas station, with the Zyns in the gas station, because it's so easy. So I can't believe that me getting gas has triggered a nicotine craving. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's crazy, the associations that are made. One, got to be stronger than it. Two, you got to realize how companies, they are not looking out for your best interest. They're looking to make a dollar. And I'm sure they are well aware of people associating gas stations and convenience with you know, their product. So, update today has been dramatically better. I think because I have more energy today, I also have more energy to say no to the craving. So it honestly has not been as bad as the other forms of containing nicotine. So I think, again, this kind of reinforces my theory that for quitting, Zyns would actually be good. And keep in mind that I purposely built up kind of a Zyn addiction, going from the 3s to the 6s, and that was going, I was using that to like really test out the withdrawal process from Zyns. But I'm learning that the nicotine symptoms and like withdrawals are pretty much exactly the same. It's just kind of like what form you're used to taking it in. That's kind of like the habit that you have to fight. With the vape, I was fighting the habit of like trying to reach for it all the time. With the Zyns, because they last so long when you put them in, you're kind of just fighting the habit very rarely of like, oh, I kind of wish I would put something in right now, but it's not that hard comparatively speaking, because you're not thinking about it as much. And at least for me, I think that having the Zyn be released more consistently throughout the day, compared to the tiny hits that you're taking with a vape all day, is making this process of quitting a lot easier compared to the vape. And if you wanted to stop nicotine, you would probably go from the 6s to the 3s and then nothing altogether after that. So right now, day 2 is going pretty well. As for like other downsides that I'm noticing today is that I'm doing better than yesterday as a whole, but probably within the past half hour or so is kind of like when I'm hitting my slump. It's about 3 o'clock right now, and I noticed that like all morning I've been almost like fully like a normal day for me before this previous week where I started taking the Zyns. And then about the past half hour or so is when I'm starting to feel like a little bit spacey, like my brain is like lacking the dopamine that it's used to. But it's way better than yesterday. Yesterday was all day I felt terrible. Right now it's been like, okay, all morning I was all good. So just a quick update for you guys, letting you guys know it's possible, and it's not ever gonna feel nice quitting nicotine, you know, but if you're willing to go through the pain at first, I think it's definitely worth it to consider it. And also, Zyns, they're kind of selling me on being a good quitting product. Yeah, that's where I'm at. All day today, withdrawals have been pretty all good. I have not struggled with it too much. Definitely a bit sleepier towards the end of the day, and that's all right. And you know what? When I was dealing with a situation earlier that was like more emotionally demanding, that required a lot more like thought and processing, that it weighed heavier on me, so I had to do like more thinking. I got a craving for it, the nicotine at that point. And I think that's to do with the fact that it's like, it's an easy way to put me in a good mood so that I could like not feel, you know, the tough emotions that I had to handle at that time. So yeah, just an interesting thing to know, that it's such an easy fix that it makes sense, you know, that your brain would be like, nah, take the easy way out. All right, it's pretty late at night. I'm gonna go to bed now. Just letting you guys know that like any craving I've had today, it's just been so easy to deal with that I really think that this is probably a great quitting tool. Update. So the cravings that have come randomly today have just been, I want to say, pretty standard ones where I'm like, oh, I wish I had nicotine in me right now. And then I can just fight that temptation in that moment, put it in the back of my head and say, no, I'm not going to do it. And then it's done. Way less frequent than with the vape. I'm talking about like now, like today, I probably only had that feeling twice. And it's almost 2 p.m. Because the frequency is so different, this is so much easier to fight off. And I bet you if I would have done the 6 to the 3s, it would have been even easier. So I just think that like I'm getting to the point where I'm almost ready to wrap up this video, because I know how this is gonna go. I'm just gonna have to fight that urge randomly for like a couple more days. I think the one thing I have noticed about this recovery, which is a little bit different than from when I was vaping, is that when I was vaping, for some reason the Zyn pouches, at least for me, would give me so much energy. And I think it's because you leave them in your mouth and it's just sustained for so long. I can tell the difference in recovering my energy. I didn't have a coffee, I didn't go on a run, and I had great sleep. So I should have a normal amount of energy. And I feel way better today, which is like dramatically better than I did 2 days ago. It's just a different type of tiredness. And I think just the brain just has to rebalance a little bit, and I can really notice that tiredness when I'm meditating. But at least like when I'm awake and I'm good and I'm active, and I'll just keep getting good sleep and it'll be fine. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave this at least to the end of the day, see if there's any other changes. But I'm getting close to wrapping up this video just based off of my predictions of the fact that we're probably not going to be fighting a lot more cravings, etc. And I guess maybe I'll start formulating some final thoughts to throw your way to wrap up this vid. You know what I also realized during my meditation? It's every time that I've had something that has a similar like flavor profile to spearmint, that's like maybe a little bit mintier, a little bit fresher, or the times that I've had that craving for nicotine for the Zyn pouches. And I think that's because my brain also just has an association that the Zyn pouches and mintiness comes with that feel good feeling and all the dopamine that gets released from the Zyn. So I thought to myself, I bet you if I bought myself a pack of gum, I could like re-trick and rewire myself and my brain to not associate spearmint flavors and mintiness and freshness with Zyns. I think that would be really, really helpful. So for like anybody quitting, I definitely would suggest doing that, because like that's just the association my brain has now. And it's like, you might as well just remake a new association so you don't have to think about it as much. I bet you if I was chewing on a pack of gum all day, it would just like taste good, but I wouldn't be thinking about, after a few days of doing that, I wouldn't be thinking about like, oh, let me put a pack of gum in, because it doesn't hit the same, you know? You know what's an absolute dub we're taking today that I didn't even realize? All day today I've been in a very introspective mood, because I've been dealing with some stuff the past couple of days, personal life related. And today, as I'm like dealing with certain things, I have to tell you, I have not been cranky at all. Yesterday and the day before, it's so easy to get triggered into feeling negative emotions when your brain is already lacking dopamine, that it takes so much more willpower to fight to stay positive. Whereas today, I have not fallen into that at all, and I've been like very like healthily, emotionally healthy, responding to everything, going about my life in a very emotionally positive way. And nothing's held me back. Everything's been all good. I've dealt with everything, and I have not had to fight my own internal emotions really like at all, now that I think about it. So and that definitely comes from having like just your brain functioning properly, so there's nothing for you to like, or it doesn't really take effort for you to overcome smaller difficulties in life. So I think that's important to note when you're leaving nicotine behind in your life. It's going to be probably pretty easy to fall into negative emotions, and maybe even for a period of weeks at a time while your brain fully recovers. And you know what? I think that curtain gets lifted over time without you even like noticing, because it's such a gradual process. But I think that's important to note. I think it's important to state. And so, guys, I feel totally normal today. I did not record a clip last night just because I didn't want to think that I was like so excited to post this video that I wasn't like finishing it up all the way. So I was like, okay, just be patient, wait a little bit longer. I feel totally like normal today, and I know I'm gonna have like a normal day. I might have to fight the occasional craving like here and there, but that's kind of just like normal. There's not gonna really be like, I'm not having any like withdrawal tendencies on it besides just the mild craving for it that goes further away with time, and that's like, I don't know, longer than realistically possible to show in this video. So let's go ahead and wrap up some thoughts here after I get my breakfast. I'm gonna keep this brief because I think I've tried to do a pretty good job of explaining my thoughts throughout this video to make sure I don't miss anything. And I think to summarize, I would say, as always, don't get into nicotine. Don't use nicotine at all. I don't encourage anybody to use nicotine. I don't encourage anybody to use Zyns to get into nicotine. However, I found them to be a very, very good tool, especially for people that want to quit nicotine. I know I went about it the opposite way, but just based off of my experience of like using them and seeing like the side effects and the withdrawals, especially comparing it to vaping, which I genuinely had a problem with that I was able to get off of. I actually wish I would have used Zyns to get off it. Now, I think I'm pretty capable when it comes to just quitting cold turkey on things, but I know that I would have had an easier time quitting the vape the first time that I ever did it had I just used the Zyns and maybe used a 6 milligram down to the 3 milligram, or maybe even just been fine with the 3s, because it took me a few days to get used to the 6s anyway. But that's like assuming I had been vaping for a while. So I would say, actually, yeah, great quitting tool. For those of you that want to quit, start on the 6s, go down to 3s, and then, you know, use self-control to leave it behind. But overall, that's where I stood with it. Just remember, it's a healthier alternative, but that doesn't mean it is healthy. Don't let people tell you that just because it's like trendy and like they haven't found a lot of like bad things about it to convince you that it's not bad for you. It's very popular right now, and I think when things are popular, people don't realize how bad they can be for you because they're just riding the trends of popularity, and eventually they get hooked, and at the end of the day, somebody's getting you addicted to these habit-forming chemicals so that they can take your hard-earned money out of your pocket and use it to profit themselves and live their, you know, life to the best of their abilities, being rich, doing whatever they want, and then you're stuck being addicted to their product, giving them your money, and they're making you suffer when you don't want to use it anymore. So just remember, it comes at a price, and they're taking advantage of you. That's how I feel about it. If you want to live your longest, healthiest life, avoiding nicotine as much as possible is your best way to go. All right, that does it for this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to hit subscribe. Let me know if you would like to see me try cigarettes. I've been tossing this one back and forth. It was highly requested in the last video, and so I'm gonna test out the waters with the responses on this video again, because that's probably gonna be the most intense one. So let me know. I'm willing to do it for you guys. not really looking forward to it if I'm being honest. So, yep, let me know. All right, see ya.